Okay. All right. Welcome to the 3-day Crush Your Facebook Engagement Challenge. Today is day 2. Just waiting for some people to hop on. While I set up my screen here a little bit. Okay, as you're hopping on, let me know where you're tuning in from and drop me a hashtag live if you're live, or if you're catching this on the replay, drop me a hashtag replay. And one last thing, when you're hopping on, I'm using StreamYard. So you need to grant StreamYard permission to show your name. And during this challenge, we're going to be having a little bit of contests and kind of win some, giveaways and stuff. So I need to see who's commenting. So there is a link. I put it right here on the screen, but there's a link above this video that you can click on to grant StreamYard permission for that. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to get started in just 1 second. For those of you who missed day 1 yesterday, I actually posted the day 1 replay. It's up in the featured section of the group, and I also put it in the guides section. I created a guide section, okay? And if you're on a laptop or a desktop, the guides tab is right at the top of the group. But if you're watching it on a mobile, I don't know if you can see this, but there's like 3 bars at the top left of the group screen. Probably, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Oh yeah. Right there, the 3 bars, you would click on that, and then you would just click on guides. Okay. And you'll be able to catch the replay. Anybody who actually registered for this workshop, you're going to get an email with the replays as well. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. And we're going to get going. Again, as you're hopping on, let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop me a hashtag live if you're live, hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. And again, you need to grant StreamYard permission to show your name so I can see who is commenting. All right, just give me 1 second. I don't need this anymore. So bear with me for 1 second. Not seeing link for StreamYard. Okay, at the top of, here, I'm going to put it on the screen again, okay? You might have to just type it in your browser, but there should be a link right at the top of this video. Or it might be over in the description section. I'm not sure what you're watching on, whether you're on mobile or on laptop, but here. This right here is the link if you want to just put it in your browser real quick and grant them permission. It should be, again, on the top of the, let me look at my mobile real quick, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's right at the top of the video. Hey, Tammy from Missouri. I created a guide section, okay? All right, keep doing that. Every time I look at the comments, that comes on. Okay, let me see. Okay, Tammy, well, it shows up on my mobile. I don't know why I can't see it from here. It seemed like, okay, anyway, let me get going with this. All right, there we go. Okay, so today's day 2 of the 3-day Crush Your Facebook Engagement Workshop. So happy to have you here with me today. We did have a homework thread in the group too, if you want to go back. And if you didn't catch yesterday's workshop, you're welcome to go back, catch the replay, and do the homework. And then tonight, of course, we're going to have homework for today for day 2. Okay. But for those of you who are new or don't know who I am, I'm just going to briefly go over who I am. Hello, I'm Wendy Rahilly. I'm a business mentor and online marketing strategist. I help entrepreneurs build a successful online business through branding, building a targeted audience, online marketing, and all the things. I am the admin of the Women Entrepreneurs Corner Grow Your Online Business and Scale Facebook group. I've been in the industry now for over 15 years, but I am still today in the trenches building an online business just like everybody else, okay? And yesterday in day 1, I did kind of go over more about my story and how I kind of evolved over the years. I went over some testimonials of people who have worked with me, who have taken my courses, and things like that. I'm not going to go through all that again today. But you can catch that all on day 1. Okay. So a little bit of day 1 recap. Yesterday, we went over the importance of engagement and why you need it. Basically, it all has to boil down with Facebook algorithm. Okay. And you it kind of has that has a lot to do with the engagement. But once you get that strategy down to kind of tweak the Facebook algorithm, you're going to start getting more views and eyeballs on your posts. And the more engagement that you start getting on your posts, it's going to kind of position you more as like an authority. People are going to think you're more you're going to feel that you're more credible. And this translates into more sales. Okay. And we also went over the types of posts that help drive engagement and that help boost your other posts. Okay, kind of train the Facebook algorithm, if you will. And most importantly, we went over the importance of building the engagement foundation. Okay, you can drop a post and it can get a ton of engagement on it because of the type of post that it is, right? But that does not mean that the rest of your posts are going to get engagement like that. Okay. So this is where building an actual foundation comes in. Okay. So let's take my profile for an example. I'm a very active person on my Facebook profile. I post every day. I engage with people every day. But the past few weeks, I haven't been MIA, but the past few weeks, my focus has really been on this group. I just finished off a giveaway that we did, and I rolled it into this challenge that I'm working on now. So a lot has been going on in the group. So a lot of my focus has been in the group, right? So I haven't really been over on my Facebook doing the activities that you should be doing every day to get that type of engagement. But if you look, this is an example of a post I made a few days ago, August 5th, I think it was. And I still had over 200 likes and hearts and over 112 comments. And this is me not doing anything on my Facebook profile, no type of engaging, no type of anything for the past few weeks. And this is because I initially in the beginning took the time to build this foundation that's so important for your engagement. So what can you expect from today? Okay, the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to engagement. And then we're going to talk a little bit about that foundation and what that looks like. Okay, so I'll just check really quick over here. Again, if anybody new is hopping on, hey Val, how are you? Let me know where you're tuning in from. And let me know if you're live, #live, or yes, I can see you, Val, in your comments. So, okay. The other one, I'm not sure. I saw if you found it. I don't know why you can't see the link. I can't see it from where I'm at, so I'm sorry, but I can see it on my mobile though, so I know who you are. But anyway, let me know if you're live, hashtag live, or if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Okay, so just like yesterday, we're going to have a question challenge. Okay. And basically, if you weren't on yesterday's live, basically what this is throughout the workshop, I'm going to plant some questions in, a couple of them. And whoever participates and comments and answers these questions, I'm going to later on go through the people who have commented. I'm going to pick one winner who is going on this particular day. You're going to have a chance to win my plug and play post for kick-ass engagement. Okay. These are essentially posts that are already for you. So that you can, all you have to do is copy and paste them right on your Facebook profile or wherever you're, whether it's in a group or wherever you're promoting, trying to get engagement, but typically that would be your Facebook profile. And they will go to work driving traffic and engagement for you without you having to sit there and think up content and stuff like that. Okay. So you will have a chance to win that if you answer the questions, and you'll know when it's a question slide because it's going to say question right on there. Okay. Okay. And tomorrow, day 3, we're going to put all of this together. Okay. And the steps that I took to get an immediate boost in my engagement in days, not weeks or months, but in days. Okay. And how I went from getting only 2 to 4 comments and likes on my posts to over 200 likes and comments on my posts in my first week, following a certain strategy, building that foundation. And before I did that, I was getting absolutely crickets on my posts. Okay. So we're going to go over more of that tomorrow. Okay. So here we are. Question. I'm going to ask you a question, and those of you who participate and make a comment with an answer to the question. I'm going to later on go through your comments and pick a winner. Okay. And you will win my plug and play post for kick-ass engagement. So the question is, do you engage on other people's posts? This is a simple yes or no. So go ahead. Do you engage in other people's posts? One second. I'm going to give you 1 second. Just absolutely yes, I engage. Okay. I don't know what I can see. Okay, Tammy, I can see you on my mobile, but I can't see you through here. So hopefully you got that situated. But if that's somebody new, absolutely, yes, I engage. At the top of this video, or it could be over on the side, depending on what you're looking at, you need to grant StreamYard access to show your name. It's right here on the screen too. If you want to do that really quick, that way I can see who's commenting, okay? Or at least have that done by the end of this, if you can, if that's possible. All right, let me get rid of this thing real quick, and we will continue. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to engagement. Okay, and mistake number 1 is you don't engage on other people's posts. Okay, that's very important. Engaging on other people's posts, there's many reasons why you want to do that. Okay, a few reasons. Engaging on other people's posts shows, first of all, that you support those people. You're actually taking the time to read and watch their content. And they've taken the time to craft up a great post. Maybe they're doing a tutorial or anything. It doesn't matter what they're posting. They took time to craft up that post. And by you coming in and supporting them like that, it just, they'll be more inclined to come over and reciprocate. Okay. And then when they do, it signals Facebook that both of you now want that connection together. Okay. So now Facebook will put more of their posts in front of you, but also more of your posts in front of them. Okay. So think about it. Have you ever stopped and thought that you maybe you haven't seen somebody online in a while and you wonder where they've been. So you go over to their profile, but you notice that they've been around for, this whole time. So now you're thinking to yourself, well, how come I haven't seen any of their posts, or how come they haven't commented on any of mine? That is because that engagement, that connection stops somehow. And once that happens, Facebook thinks that the two of you do not want to connect anymore. So now Facebook stops showing your posts to them and stops showing you their posts. Okay. But once you start to engage on their posts again, and then they engage back, that connection starts all over again. Facebook, okay, now they do want to connect, and Facebook starts pushing out your posts in their time feed and vice versa. Okay. Also, engaging yourself is a big part of the whole engagement. Okay. You're waking up that Facebook algorithm. It shows Facebook that you're using their platform the way it's supposed to be used. You're being interactive, and Facebook will reward you by showing more of your stuff to more people. Okay. Excuse me. I get a drink of water here. Okay. Mistake number 2. You don't engage before you drop a post. And this one was one of my mistakes. I used to drop a post and then I would come back and I'd have nothing on my post. I never even knew that you should engage before you drop the post. So that was a huge one for me. If you've ever dropped a post and you walk away a few hours later, you come back and you notice that barely anybody has liked or commented on your posts, you're probably thinking to yourself, what gives? You spent a lot of time on that post. Maybe you're educating somebody or you're giving them some kind of tip or whatever. How rude of them to not even comment, right? But the thing is they're not being rude. It's most likely that they didn't even see that post, okay? Because Facebook is not showing it to most of your friends on your friends list, okay? You have to do a little bit of work before you drop your post. And by work, I mean engage, okay? By engaging, you wake up the Facebook algorithm, and then Facebook starts pushing your posts out to more people, especially if you've already built that engagement foundation, okay? And once you've built that foundation, all you have to do now is engage a little bit, and then you drop your post, and then it works like magic. And again, we're going to go over this foundation a little bit later on, in this day 2, but it's way more in depth. And there's actually a strategy to building this foundation in my Crush Your Facebook Engagement course that I will be talking a little bit more about tomorrow. And remember, you're not getting engagement just for the sake of getting engagement or to make yourself look good. Engagement actually serves a huge purpose, okay? It drives in more people seeing your posts, okay? More people engaging on your posts. And then this translates into more leads and more sales and more signups for you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, Val, I didn't know you were from Florida. I'm from Florida too. You have to tell me whereabouts you are. I'm in St. Pete. Okay, just checking the comments. Okay. Oh, we have a question challenge. Okay, so again, answer this question. And anybody who answers the question in the comments, I will go back later on and I will choose a winner, and that winner will win my plug and play posts for kick-ass engagement. Essentially, you just copy and paste the post and they will drive engagement automatically for you, so you don't have to think up the content yourself. So the question is, how long do you think you should engage for? Okay. How long do you think you should engage for? And that leads us into mistake number 3, which is you're not engaging long enough. So you can't sit there and engage on a few people's posts and then expect to get a whole lot of traction on your posts, okay? The longer you engage, the more Facebook is going to push more of your posts out to more people. I don't know if, can you guys hear my cat in the background? I put him out in the other room, but I can hear him through the door. Okay, so recap. The 3 biggest mistakes is not engaging on other people's posts, not engaging before you drop a post, and not engaging long enough, okay? And there are several other components to this too. Those are just a few of them that I had picked out. But basically, all these components are all built into that one foundation, and that foundation is an actual strategy, okay? I teach the strategy in my Crush Your Facebook Engagement course, but I'm going to go over the basics of it here today, okay? So there are different activities that you need to be doing almost daily. They're all essential components of the entire strategy that builds the foundation. Once you have this foundation set, then all you need to do each day is just engage a little bit first to trigger the algorithm, and then you just drop your post and you'll start getting a flood of engagement on your post. Okay, but without this foundation, this won't work quite as good. And essentially, this foundation consists of several components. And these components are engaging, obviously, but not just engaging, but rather how long you engage and what time you engage. Okay, there is a time that works best of when you should be engaging. Okay, and there's also times that don't work that best. I've tried them all. So I've done some experimentation with this, but there definitely is a time where engaging works best. Okay. Also, another component is your DMs and those conversations that you're having inside your DMs. Okay. Facebook sees these as connections, and that helps with engagement too. Like I said earlier, when you're having a conversation with somebody in the DM and they're commenting back or they're talking back with you, that triggers Facebook. Okay, these two have a connection. So I'm going to start, we're going to start putting their posts out in front of each other. So, they'll see more of your posts and you'll see more of theirs. Okay. What your friends list looks like. It's not so much how many friends you have, but the quality of your friends list and how engaged and active they are. Okay. And also in my Crush Your Facebook Engagement course, I go over how to find your inactive friends and how to get rid of them and how to narrow down your list to where you only have highly engaged and active friends, okay? How many times a day do you post and how often? And that makes a huge difference. Trust me, you can definitely post too much, okay? Less is better. The quality of your posts and the types of posts, which we kind of went over a little bit last night, of the types of posts that drive more engagement and more traffic to your post. Okay. The different types of wording that you're putting on your post, and these can actually make or break your engagement. There are certain things that you should not be putting on your post because Facebook will instantly squash that post and will not put that post out in front of many people. Okay. Also, how to get engagement on your older posts, how to wake up your older posts. So these are just some of the components to that entire foundation. And that foundation, basically, it's a strategy. Okay. You're going to get a daily strategy that if you implement this strategy consistently, you will build that foundation to the point where you can drop a post without engaging and you'll have a decent amount of engagement. Okay. Just kind of like my example of my profile. I've literally have not done anything in the past few weeks to boost my engagement. And I still have a decent amount of engagement. It's not anything like it was when I was very active with my engagement strategy, but it's got still a little bit of momentum to it. Okay. And I haven't even been active in a few weeks. Now, obviously, a couple of months down the road, you're not doing anything. You're not going to have any kind of engagement. Your momentum is going to go down. So you would have to start implementing the strategy and, get that momentum built again. But once you build that foundation, you'll be able to drop a post without engaging if you want to, and you'll have a decent amount of engagement. Okay. And we're going to go over this more tomorrow so you know exactly what is involved in this strategy. Okay, so tonight I'm going to give you some homework, just like I did yesterday. I'm going to have the second thread for homework. So tonight, I want you to go engage on 10 people's posts, okay? And then you're going to comment on 10 people's stories. And then go back to that post that I had you post yesterday and respond to any comments that's on it, okay? That's it. That's all I want you to do. And again, I will have a separate homework thread that will be for day 2. And after you do this, just go back to the homework thread and mark done, okay? And everybody who actually does the homework and marks done in the group, I'm going to pick one person from that group or from that thread, and you will win my plug and play post for kick-ass engagement, okay? So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know this was a more shorter one. Tomorrow is going to be a little longer than today or yesterday, but appreciate you guys showing up. Go do the homework, and I will catch you on tomorrow's day 3 of the Crush Your Facebook engagement. Okay? Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.